As you all know, Gypsy Rose had a book signing in New Orleans at the Garden District Bookstore on Friday the 13th. Now, one day following that, I went to the bookstore and they completely ridded their shelves of Gypsy Rose Blanchard's book. But those who attended the book...
Ken Urker has set the gossip world ablaze with his latest revelation about his relationship with Gypsy Zero's Granted. The internet has been overflowing with speculation, as Ken's recent actions seem to unravel the complexities of their connection. The most jaw-dropping twist? Ken has reportedly packed his bags and moved back to Texas to live with his mother, Rio Williams. The internet has been uproaring with speculation about his relationship with Gypsy Zero, Granted.
We're quite surprised that Gypsy's boyfriend and father to her child-to-be, Ken Urker, was nowhere to be found. Now, while this event, if you went to it, clearly seemed like something that was put together for a lifetime production, it's arguably a big event.
The most jaw-dropping twist, Ken has reportedly packed his bags and moved back to Texas to live with his mother, Rio Williams. This relocation, spanning over 600 miles and a 9-hour drive, appears to signal a clear end to his chapter with Gypsy, fueling rumors that Ken has officially cut ties. But let's unpack this tangled web of revelations. To understand the drama in full, we need to rewind to June, when Ken made the bold move to New Orleans, Louisiana.
Gypsy did write a book. Well, with the help of 2 co-authors. And her boyfriend and father of her child, Ken Urker, wasn't there for this big moment of Gypsy's? Now, you may remember that rumors have been circulating for a while about the status of Gypsy Rose Blanchard's relationship.
At the time, this decision was painted as a grand, romantic gesture, a move fueled by love to be closer to Gypsy, as their relationship flourished. Gypsy's stepmother, Christy Blanchette, even shared in an interview with People magazine that Ken's relocation plans had been in the works since May. She claimed he was on the hunt for a perfect spot to settle.
And Gypsy recently had a baby shower, which was a part of her lifetime production, and Ken was there. But just last week, Ken was not there to support his girlfriend for her book signing event. Gypsy was accompanied only by her stepmother, Christy, and father, Rod,
making it seem like a love story unfolding in real time. However, recent revelations suggest there was more to the story. During a Sorry live stream in September, Ken's mother, Rio Williams, spilled some serious tea. She revealed that Ken's decision to move to Louisiana wasn't driven purely by passion. It came after he discovered Gypsy was pregnant.
I already told you Ken and Gypsy broke up. Okay, that's a fact. Ken is allegedly back in Texas for sure, allegedly. It's been alleged that he's at his mama's. So he's with Miss Raina, allegedly. Now,
this bombshell cast a whole new light on Ken's motives, suggesting obligation rather than romance was at the heart of his relocation. The situation eerily mirrors the dynamic between Gypsy's parents, Rod and Dee Blanchett. Rod reportedly felt compelled to marry Dee because of an unplanned pregnancy, and now Ken seems to have found himself in a similarly trapped scenario. Fast forward to the present, and Ken's return to Texas feels like an escape, a deliberate attempt to break free from a stifling and draining situation.
I've heard that he has only been in Louisiana a couple of times last month for filming, and he's been MIA ever since. So when y'all said homeboy is like, where's Waldo? You ain't never lie. Listen, I think Ken was like a...
The parallels between Ken's relationship with Gypsy and Rod's with Dee are hard to ignore. Both men seem to make life-altering decisions under pressure, only to later prioritize their own well-being. For Ken, this move back to Texas signifies more than just a geographical shift. It marks an emotional and psychological departure as well. Close friends of the couple have hinted that Ken struggled to find joy in his relationship with Gypsy, often weighed down by the obligations tied to their union.
Runaway slave on that highway to get back to Texas, child. I would too. Because when you deal with someone like Gypsy Rose Blanchard and that type of toxicity, yeah. I is free, massa. I is free.
Even during major milestones, like Gypsy's memoir promotions or her divorce court proceedings, Ken's interactions reportedly lacked warmth, feeling more like a dutiful performance than a display of genuine affection. This detachment didn't go unnoticed, with onlookers observing his increasingly mechanical demeanor in public moments. Sources say Ken's emotional state was likely a mix of frustration, fatigue, and a longing for freedom. feelings that may have reached a tipping point in Louisiana.
Love Ken. I mean, I think in so many ways he's a great guy. Do we make stupid decisions sometimes? Of course. But unlike so many people in the room, I don't hate Gypsy. I've met her.
His return to his mother's home in Texas seems like a reset, a chance to find clarity and reconnect with his roots. It also sheds light on his absence during critical moments in Gypsy's life. For instance, when Gypsy was promoting her memoir, In My Time to Stand, Ken was conspicuously absent, fueling speculation about their growing disconnect. Ultimately, Ken's decision to leave Louisiana and seek refuge with his mother speaks to a broader theme of self-preservation. In emotionally taxing situations, people often hit a breaking point, and it seems Ken reached his. This move isn't just about leaving Gypsy. It's about finding the space and support he needs to regain his balance. The distance he's created is as much emotional as it is physical, signaling a deep need to prioritize his own mental health and happiness.
I talked to her. I'm like Ken. I met Gypsy from the documentary on HBO, and I had a lot of sympathy, you know?
Sure. Mommy dearest.
Right. And now I feel...
Adding yet another layer to this saga is the complication of Ken's obligations tied to the Lifetime reality show. His decision to step back may ripple beyond his personal life, leaving fans and insiders wondering how this dramatic turn will play out on screen. Television contracts often demand participants maintain a certain image to align with the show's narrative, especially for reality programs, where the illusion of authenticity is critical. These contracts usually include strict non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, barring participants from revealing personal developments or spoilers that could impact viewer engagement. For Ken and Gypsy, this likely means presenting themselves as a loving, united couple despite their off-screen struggles. Publicly disclosing conflicts or a breakup could breach these agreements, leading to legal complications or financial penalties. Lifetime's production team meticulously crafts story arcs to ensure maximum drama and viewership, leaving little room for participants to deviate from the script. Ken's social media activity seems to reflect this delicate balancing act. When rumors of a breakup began circulating, Ken responded with posts painting his relationship with Gypsy in a positive light, seemingly aimed at quelling speculation.
I mean, I still feel the same way. I mean, I've definitely seen other things since then that have made me go, wow, it's not
as black and white as you thought it was.
Right.
These posts often feel calculated, as if designed to maintain the facade of harmony. For instance, after news broke about Ken's move back to Texas, he shared an Instagram story featuring Gypsy, captioned, "Holiday weather, 8/10, home decorations, 9/10, Gypsy and my baby girl, 10/10. At first glance, this may seem like a sweet post, but in the broader context of their relationship dynamics, it raises eyebrows. Observers have pointed out subtle signs of disconnection in Ken's posts. In photos, Gypsy often appears affectionate, holding onto Ken or leaning against him, while Ken's expressions are notably neutral or even detached. This was particularly evident during their baby shower, where Gypsy seemed enthusiastic and engaged, but Ken's demeanor appeared forced and uninterested. Such moments suggest that their disconnect runs deeper than social media optics.
I already told you Ken and Gypsy broke up. Okay, that's a fact. Ken is allegedly back in Texas for sure, allegedly. It's been alleged that he's at his mama's. So he's with Miss Raina, allegedly. Now, I've heard that he has...
Adding fuel to the fire, Gypsy shared the results of a paternity test in November, a decision that sparked significant backlash. Ken remained silent during the controversy, which many interpreted as another sign of his emotional distance. However, in early December, he broke his silence by posting the same paternity test results on TikTok. This delayed response came off as damage control, though it only raised more questions about the authenticity of his actions. Critics quickly dissected Ken's TikTok post, with some speculating that Gypsy might have written the caption for him. The caption, riddled with grammatical errors and awkward phrasing like, "I do not want no false allegations speculating," bore a striking resemblance to Gypsy's known writing style from previous posts. Observers theorized that this could be indicative of Gypsy's controlling nature within their relationship, possibly extending to how Ken publicly addresses controversies that affect her image. The caption read, I very rarely speak out, and the only reason I'm doing this now is I do not want no false allegations speculating when it comes to my child. The phrasing felt uncharacteristic of Ken's usual style.
Only been in Louisiana a couple of times last month for filming, and he's been MIA ever since. So when y'all said homeboy is like, where's Waldo? You ain't never lie. Listen, I think Ken was like a runaway slave.
Further fueling theories that Gypsy's influence over him might extend beyond their personal relationship to his public persona. Critics questioned whether Ken's rare public defenses were genuinely his or part of a broader attempt to manage the fallout from their increasingly strained dynamic. This ongoing saga continues to captivate fans and skeptics alike, as every post, caption, and appearance is dissected for clues about what's really happening behind the scenes. For Ken and Gypsy, the pressure of navigating both a reality show and a turbulent relationship seems to be taking its toll, with no clear resolution in sight. Ken's statement accompanying the paternity test result. "Me and Gypsy had the DNA done, and this is the result. I can't wait to be a father. It has always been a dream of mine. Maybe this might put theories to rest?" Seemed like a bid to silence speculation. However, its grammatical errors and awkward tone led many to believe that Gypsy might have orchestrated the post. This theory isn't far-fetched, especially considering how carefully curated their public narrative seems to be. Ken's mother, Rio Williams, has not been shy about her concerns regarding his relationship with Gypsy. During a recent SAR Morbid livestream, she expressed her reservations candidly, revealing that while she initially tried to remain hopeful, Gypsy's troubled past left her uneasy.
On that highway to get back to Texas, child. I would too. Because when you deal with someone like Gypsy Rose Blanchard and that type of toxicity, yeah. I is free, massa. I is free. Now remember, Miss Rayner said,
"As a mother, I just want what's best for my son, and I have to admit, I've had my worries," she shared. Gypsy has been through so much, and that kind of history doesn't just disappear. Rayo went on to explain the emotional conflict she faced, wanting to support her son's happiness while grappling with the complexities of Gypsy's notoriety. "You hear all these things about someone, and no matter how hard you try, it's difficult to fully trust the situation," she admitted. Adding to her frustrations was the relentless public scrutiny surrounding Ken and Gypsy's relationship. "I know people have their opinions, and it's hard to see my son in the middle of all that scrutiny. He deserves peace." Now that Ken has returned to Texas, it's likely a relief for Rayo to have her son home. She sees this as an opportunity for Ken to find clarity and receive the support he needs. "Sometimes you need space to see things clearly, and I think this is that time," she noted during the live stream. For Rayo, Ken's move signifies a step toward regaining control over his life, away from the emotional turbulence that seemed to define his time with Gypsy. While Ken insists that Lifetime isn't dictating his actions, it's hard to overlook the influence reality TV has had on their relationship.
she watched Becca Scoops and she realized who Gypsy really was. And she was concerned about her grandbaby, but she said she was hoping for the best.
The pressure to maintain an engaging narrative for the show undoubtedly adds another layer of complexity to an already challenging dynamic. Ken's decision to move back to Texas could be his way of reclaiming independence, while navigating the demands of his reality TV commitments. By distancing himself physically and emotionally, Ken seems to be prioritizing his mental health after what appears to have been an exhausting chapter in his life. From his initial move to Louisiana, reportedly motivated by obligation rather than romance, to the ongoing speculation about a breakup, this relationship has been far from straightforward. What do you think about Ken's decision to leave Louisiana? Do his social media posts reflect genuine emotions, or are they calculated efforts to uphold a carefully constructed image? Thanks for tuning in to this deep dive into Ken and Gypsy's whirlwind of a relationship. We want to hear from you. What's your take on Ken's move back to Texas? Do you think he's finally taking control of his life? Or is there more to the story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to stay in the loop on all the juicy updates, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest tea. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.